If you've been following along, you recently saw me team up with an incredible crew to deliver Serenity to the Abaco Islands in the Bahamas. After that adventure, it was time to shift gears. I headed home for about a week, unpacked, repacked, and then got ready for the next chapter. Now, with the family on board, we're back out here, and this is where today's episode begins. From unexpected weather to unforgettable moments, this part of the story has it all.
But I was helping, making sure we were clearing these pylons and getting all the lines off. But Captain Big Daddy, Captain Chris, is officially taking us out of the marina on Serenity. Exiting out in just a few minutes. Getting there. Our first solo trip. We got Carissa and Robert with us, and Caitlin. Should be a really exciting, fun week. Alright, now we are exiting out of the marina. The Marina Hotel. We've stayed there before. What we've been waiting for. Just like a great big lake. And the little islands that we're going to be going to. I don't know, I'm trying to think of it like Lake Sonoma, trying to get to the different islands on the big lake. We're in Hopetown. Looking for a mooring ball. So there wasn't any mooring balls, so sorry about the finger, we are anchored outside of Hopetown. And so we'll take the dinghy in to check things out, but we're on an anchor.
We'd just flown in, provisioned, loaded into the boat, and we're all pretty tired, so we didn't stay long in Hopetown, and we forgot to film anything.
RV shower.
Military showers.
How long?
2 minutes.
5 minutes.
Robert's just leaving us hanging. He's like,
I'll tie this off, I forgot.
Just temp tie
I
it,
forgot this one's
because we're gonna have to move it over anyway, so
This one's easier to tie.
we can't like be the people who take the stairs and keep the stairs. All right, all ashore. Us here at the Hopetown City Dock. About to go on an adventure. We tried to go to the lighthouse. Unfortunately, lighthouse was closed. So we'll do other things today. How you doing, Lisa?
Doing great, thank you.
We wandered around Hopetown, but it was Sunday and everything was closed. If you've been following our journey, you'll remember that back in 2022, Robert, Carissa, Lisa, and I explored this place pretty thoroughly when we were on the valley. This time, we were hoping to show it to Caitlin, but it just wasn't in the cards today. That said, a series of unfortunate events later in this journey would lead to a surprising silver lining. We'd all get the chance to explore Hopetown and all of Elbow Key in much greater detail. But that's a story for a later episode. For now, we weighed anchor and set course for our next destination.
Well, here we are. We got the sails up. We're heading over to Guana from Hopetown. Got about 5.5 knots we're making and about 16 knots of wind, so not great, but it's a broad reach, so it's probably about the best that this thing can do. And best news is we're not burning 1 ounce of diesel at the moment. We've got all day to get there and a little bit of ways to go, but I think we can make the whole thing on one tack. So this is exciting.
Cool bean bags, some Serenity. This is the moving sandwiches. I'm just sitting up here on the trampolines.
Serenity's sails are brand new and really stiff. As you'll see here, it makes it challenging to get the mainsail down. We've since installed a downhaul, or what's sometimes called a Cunningham, to make it super easy to pull the mainsail down without having to go up on deck.
Start spinning back that way out.
Sorry. What you doing, Chris?
Well,
Check an anchor.
had a heck of a time getting on anchor, and so we got her stuck now, but there's two problems. Problem one is that we are potentially anchored on a sandbar that if we drift over is going to be too shallow. And number two is, I can't remember, but there was another problem. We're going to suss it out when we get over there.
All right, sounds good. Going in pairs, I like it. Robert and Chris went out to check on the anchor, and they don't like the way it's positioned. So we are moving, pulling up the anchor now. Robert is. And I guess we're going to try to find another spot. I think we've been working on this for about an hour and a half. If we can't do this, then our last option will be to go over to the marina, where they said they did a spot for us, but the wind is just pretty crazy right now. It was a nice sail. The wind was great for the sail over here. Got there 2 hours earlier than expected, but here we are trying to find an anchorage. So there we go.
We should have taken the marina. Fast forwarding a bit here, but it got incredibly rough when we got back from our great Guana Cay adventure. Getting off the dinghy, Carissa hit her face, damaging her gums and her teeth, and Lisa got pulled out of the boat and was basically tossed around like a tetherball for a few minutes, hanging from the dinghy davit. She wound up in the water, but she badly bruised her arm. We didn't catch any of that on camera. Anyway, we hung out that night at Grabbers, and as you can see, there is no way to tell just how choppy the anchorage was. Also, as you can tell, I had to remove all the audio from every one of these clips because the music was so loud there would be no way for me to edit it enough to keep YouTube from giving us a copyright strike. Anyway, we had a great time until we didn't, and we didn't film anything else after the incident, so that was what Sunday looked like.
Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, well, a lot of rebuilding going on. Things are starting to look back to the way they used to. Gotta do something or other open right here. Clearly a Canadian. Making our way to Nippers. Tried out Grabbers last night, and hanging out here in the great Guana Cay. A little walk. Looks like Robert blew out a flip-flop. So he's gone back to the grocery store to try to find some super glue. We are really enjoying it. Super beautiful day today. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be windy and raining and just nasty starting tomorrow. So enjoy the good weather while we have it. Right, here comes golf cart, I think. Yep, sure enough, golf cart. So that's the primary mode, as I've mentioned before, primary mode of transportation. This is the road to get up to Grabbers, Nippers from Grabbers. That's where we're headed next.
we're here right now at easily my favorite beach in the world. Right here at Great Guana Cay. It's got the cool Nippers restaurant in the background. The long, long stretch of beach. Families out just playing in the water. We just found some fossils. Gonna take a picture of that here in a second. Came back to get the camera, but yeah, we're definitely enjoying this beautiful sunshiny day on this beautiful beach. You just cannot beat this. Sand is soft. It is not hot at all, despite the sun being out and being about 80 degrees. The water's perfect. It's the most amazing color. I don't even know how to describe that color. Like indigo or something. I don't even know if that's it. What would you call this color?
Bluish ones or talking about what are they?
That out there.
Blue. Light
Blue. It's blue. So saith Mr. Robert, Dr. Robert. All right, so let's take a look at these trilobite fossils, if they are trilobites. I'm not sure, but we're gonna walk across this right here, which looks all uncomfortable and rocky, but it's actually not. This is mossy and easy to walk on. What I wanted to show is in a lot of these holes, there are these fossils that look like this. It's really dark. See if I can get some that are a little bit lighter. The best ones that I found are right over here. As soon as the water calms down, you'll see 3 of them. Just beautiful colors. We were really enjoying Nippers. It felt like we had the place all to ourselves because we knew what this place could look like sometimes. So I'm gonna break one of my little rules here and I'm gonna fast forward to some footage from later in our story just so I can show you what an average day looks like at Nippers. But we couldn't stay at Nippers all day because we had places to be. As you'd heard me mention earlier, there was a storm moving in, and the wind was going to swing us around 180 degrees. Didn't really want to be on anchor for that, so our plan was to head up to White Sound and Green Turtle Cay and get ourselves onto a nice safe mooring ball to ride out the weather. We just anchored out at Green Turtle Cay. There are a lot of mooring balls out here, but they were all taken, and so we just kind of tossed out the anchor. It's in the island right there. And kind of got sort of tucked in between, there's a pylon over here somewhere. It's in there. And then some people's docks and some more people's docks. It's kind of a tight fit, but the spring break anchorage situation, mooring situation, it's been kind of busy, but not super awful. It's just that finding a place to be has been a bit of a problem. But anyway, we're here getting ready to go exploring. Robert's putting the dinghy down. Quaint little community. We've never been here before. I mean, I was here briefly during the crossing, but we stayed kind of out this way on anchor. But we had a bit of a mess with the dinghy situation. We were in really rough seas, and so it was really hard to get on and off of Serenity from Firefly, and so we decided that we needed a little break, so we came in here expecting to find a mooring ball. Didn't find one, so that's okay.
we're gonna do this anchor unless somebody runs us off. So that's the plan anyway. Yeah, we're getting ready to go maybe rent a golf cart. Should be fun. We're looking forward to that. Check in with you guys later.
Things went south from here in a hurry, and I will explain more about that in a little bit. But this anchorage wasn't the protection we were looking for, and the next day we wound up heading back to base. Everyone was shook up, nobody was up for holding a camera. But since we were back at Cruise Abaco anyway, we took the opportunity to refill our water, enjoy the result a little bit, reground ourselves, and do some laundry, and knock out a couple of maintenance items too.
Stingray action going on here, if I can find him. There he is. This sticker here, by any chance?
Which one?
Hey there.
Hi.
6'2" in the hole.
Yeah. The water pump on this side of the boat does not have near as much pressure as the other side. So starboard's good pressure, but we hate switching over to the port side because it's just like weak and it doesn't kick on very often. And so just doing a quick adjustment so that they are the same. Actually, I'll show you. Right down in here is the freshwater pump and the accumulation tank for the pressure, and there's a tiny little screw right here on the bottom that just needs to be adjusted. So Robert's doing the pressure tests up top, and we're about done actually. So here comes the fun part. That's getting out. We call this boat yoga. And that would be my exercise for the day, except unfortunately the ocean has destroyed my watch. So no Apple Watch for Chris. Well, so yesterday was a bit of a bummer day. We had plans, so we went up to Turtle Cay, and we were going to do a bunch of exploring, just find out what's there. We got into the anchorage about 2:30 in the morning. There was one boat that drug anchor, and then they decided to re-anchor right next to us. And I mean, parking lot at Walmart close, and that kept me up because I kept an eye on them, and I was worried about them bumping into us. But then wind changed and we rolled a little bit further out, and so that was good. So then overnight my watch, I fell in the water actually. It was raining really hard, and I was trying to secure the dinghy. I was trying to secure the dinghy a little bit better, and I fell in the water. I was the only one up. Fortunately, I was able to get the ladder down, which is good to know that you can get the ladder down by yourself. So that was a good experience, but I got out, showered off, went to bed, and then about 6 o'clock in the morning, my Apple Watch decided that I was pushing the dial 911, I'm in distress type of thing, and it woke Lisa up because it was telling her that I was in peril of some sort. And anyway, the watch is dead. I broke a 1,200-day all rings closed and green dot streak, but I've been a slave to that streak for long enough as it is. So anyway, it was a good thing we got up, because we got up on deck and there was a mayday call. Monohull had wrapped around a catamaran, and they'd gotten their anchors tangled, and they had, one of them was dragging, and there was every dinghy in the mooring field was rushing over there to help out, and that was cool. I was about to go help too, and Lisa said, I don't have a good feeling about this. Please stay where you are. And so I did, and it's a good thing I did, because about 2 minutes later we drug anchor. we were anchored in a mooring field, but about half the boats there were anchored. You can't always do that, but I did that, and we had swung around 180 degrees, which is what we were expecting, and we dove on the anchor and really, really geared down on the RPMs to make sure that we were going to stay put. And we did until 6 o'clock in the morning, but fortunately I fired up, Robert heard me firing it up, and Dr. Rob up here, he grabbed the controls for the anchor, and I got us moving again. We motored out. It was still kind of crappy weather. It was cold. It was windy. It was raining off and on. But we did get good and anchored outside because we weren't trusting the inside anymore. I figured we'd go back in later, but we called into the marina and said, hey, we're almost out of water. Can we come in? Well, they had rented the gas dock, so somebody was actually sitting on it. We couldn't get in there, and so we were out of water. Everybody was beat up and decided, we were going to go and just head back to Marsh Harbor, to the Abaco Beach Resort Marina, and so I didn't check the tide tables. Noob mistake. I didn't check to make sure that we had enough to get through what's called whale cut. We had to go over the top of Whale Cay. It was 6 foot waves in a 6 second period, and it really beat everybody up. Got some video of that. We were slamming into it, but fortunately that didn't last for about an hour, and we got back and we decided to go ahead and tie up in a slip. So we stayed the night at the marina last night. Got up this morning, and now we're headed to Little Harbor. It's still not the best tide conditions, so I think we're going to practice. Lisa wants to learn how to put the anchor up and down on her own. So we're going to do some anchor practicing out here while we wait for rising tide, so we can get into the harbor and go and hang out at Pete's Pub and maybe Pete's Cave and do some adventure in there. Anyway, that's the plan. I'm going to try to call some of these boats and see if any of them could give me a depth reading and see what they saw, because there's 3 boats that just came out of the harbor. So anyway, we'll check in a little bit later.
Well, that about does it for this episode, folks. Join us in the next one. We'll take you back to Little Harbor and show you how that went. Spoiler alert, it went awesome. It always does. We really, truly love that place. But then we get stranded in the Bahamas. And I know that sounds like clickbait, but it really happened. We'll tell you all about it and how we dealt with it. Thank you so much for watching our story. We'll see you next time.